Alrighty, welcome back to a continuation of a great stream for RSC. It is still Bas Radala. It is still Taco on the desk. SavedHawk has been our fabulous producer tonight. And as we work our way through some technical difficulties, just bear with us here. It is going to be a tendy matchup between the. Oh my goodness, why is my screen loading wrong? That is my own technical difficulty. Sorry, Sirens and Jesters. Mr. Taco, I'm interested to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, definitely. And Contender's a fun tier. I had a lot of fun when I was in that tier, and finally back after a 3 season long hiatus. Um, Finally back in RSC, back to 9 tiers, and so we're getting a lot of fun matchups. Jesters and Sirens in the standings. Jesters are currently seventh. There is no conferences in Contender. It's just 16 teams in the tier, and then Sirens are fifth. So again, another really close matchup between teams that are in the playoffs but not exactly near the top. These teams are definitely fighting for their spot in playoffs. Jesters are tied for in the playoffs. They're tied with 3 teams, and one of them's outside of the playoffs, so they really need a win. And then Sirens are 1 game ahead of Jesters, so these teams are definitely going to be fighting for their playoff lives.
You're definitely not wrong. Sirens 11-9, Jesters 9-11. Jesters, if they lose here with what we've seen, I know it reflects incorrectly here. They are 20-20. Like he said, it is a three-way tie between the Jesters, the Helldivers, and the Gallery Guild. A terrible series here could put them outside the playoffs looking in. So for both teams here, this is a do or die series for sure. Um, I think one of the most interesting parts too is that these sirens have. I don't want to say the. I can't say it's that much of a leg up. They've only got one game up on the Jesters here, but it's difficult not to say, hey, we've been the better team in the back five. Maybe we've got more ego coming into tonight.
Yeah, both these teams are pretty close. 11-9, you said for Sirens in their back five, and then Jesters are 9-11. So only separated by 2 games. It is as razor thin as you can pretty much get, unless they were exactly tied. But they are not, and Sirens have a slight advantage heading in. And I mean, if we look on the team stats, it looks like Jesters have a prolific offense, a 94 goals and 36% shooting percentage compared to Sirens with only 68 and 29% shooting percentage. But Sirens have the better defense. So it's a battle of a great offense versus a better defense. Though Jester's defense is not too bad. They've only given up 6 goals more, 6 goals, 6 goals more, and maybe just the games that they've been losing have been tight, and they've been blowing out some games, and Sirens have been able to take the close games, and that could prove to be the difference tonight. As we talked about these long overtimes, it can turn out to be who just has more composure and who is able to get the job done. And it could be Sirens have the clutch factor. We'll have to see.
Well, let's see really who could be our biggest effectors here. Let's talk about our players. As we move into player stats, we'll look at the gestures here. We're looking at, you know, Derv, 83 shots, Izumi, 87. Mom Jeans, what a name. Mom Jeans extra large, let me clarify. 96 shots. Those shooting percentages lead me to believe they're probably playing a pretty fast but smart paced game. I mean, we're looking at 25 assists, 21 assists. This is going to be interesting to see at the Tendy tier to see how well they're really supporting each other, especially when in years past Tendy has been the kind of that tier where you're starting to figure out what team play is, but you're not quite there yet.
Yeah, in Amy, it's really just hit the ball, and contender, you start to realize, hey, you can do a little bit when you hit the ball, also, and definitely these teams have some capable players, and as you were saying, the goals are pretty well split out. This is a very evenly rotating team, it seems, and at least from the stats. It doesn't seem like too many of them are stuck third or stuck first or stuck second all the time. And it's going to be interesting to see if these fast rotations, these fast shots coming in, can help them out. Just to bring up the demos, Jader definitely the big demoer. The 46 is not it's more than a game, so that is a good amount, but it's not as much
If
as
you
we were seeing in the last series.
if you had to pick a player to watch though, like one player where you're like, "Hey, this is going to be the person that I think is going to make the biggest impact," who are you picking?
Ooh, see, Jader was in our franchise last season, so I know a lot about him. But I think Mom Jeans is a really good player, and Izumi. But I think Mom Jeans probably the player to watch to see if they can keep up and he can make an impact on the Jesters. So probably Mom Jeans for the player to watch. But really, as I said, it could be any of them that pop off.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think if I had to pick anybody, I'm probably picking J-Derv just for the 46 demos. Demos can be a either impact or hindrance depending on how it affects your rotation, but that's something we'll have to see. Let's look at the next team for stats, and we'll kind of pick that one apart as well. Here we get into the Sirens. The man looks like Net Oven and Mystic Max sharing the lion's share of the load. 19, 9, and 26 goals on 65, 48, and 63 shots. Um, I think if I had to pick somebody here that's probably going to be the player to make that biggest impact, it's probably going to be Mystic Max. Taking 63 shots on 41% shooting is kind of disgusting for Contender.
Yeah, that's a big amount of shots and a big shooting percentage. As definitely we were talking about well-rounded, Net Oven seems to be their pure third. As with 27 games, you usually don't see players with less than 10 goals, but still getting a lot of game time. So that's interesting. Not necessarily a bad thing if they're comfortable third and the other two are rotating around it, but definitely not as evenly split in terms of the stats. Demos you were talking about, this team does not demo. They don't demo at all, pretty much. The man had 14, the most with 14, and the Mystic Max with 11, and Net Oven with 5. They just are not really bumping and demoing, it seems. So that is going to be one sided potentially. If the demos come out, it's probably going to be the other team.
For sure, for sure. But we could talk about stats all day long. I think it's going to be best if we go ahead and make a pivot. We'll get some action back on the field and we'll get this series underway. Countdown going. Players on the pitch. It is time to get some Rocket League action back live. Mystic Max waiting for a very volatile pinch to drop back center. Opts to try and slap it all the way across the pitch, but Jader is there looking for the bump on one, misses one, immediately dives in for the second. Izumi looking for the follow, gets it popped over one. A little bit too much here, so Jader is going to try and send it back center. The man with the play. Putting it back into the corner here. Mom Jeans, that's a strong outlet. Izumi has to make a touch here, does, but the bump by Tyson is going to open up the opportunity by the man.
The man is not able to get it past the last defender. Jader is trying to leave it, but they get caught in their own way. That's a really uncomfortable play. Tyson is going to be first to this ball. This ball is just really awkwardly bouncing in front of the blue net as they're able to finally clear it away. Jader doesn't have a lot of boost, but he controls it well enough to clear it to the opposite side of the field. This time the man is going to be up. Mom Jeans leaves it. Jader clears it long. Mom Jeans has no boost, or has only a little bit of boost to make a play happen. This ball is going to bounce everywhere, all up the field. The man clears it long. Jader has a lot of space, but he is in a really awkward position. I mean, boss, we have seen a lot of really awkward plays to start this game.
It is. But, you know, Tendy is that kind of tier where normally it's players getting um, really just a better understanding of the game. I do like what Russ pointed out here, though, out of the chat. He did say this season's Tendy is almost last season's Prospect. Season 25 Contender was 930 to 1065 MMR, whereas Season 24 Prospect was 965 to 1070. So, with the addition of Tendy, it it is wild how the deltas have shifted, but you can definitely tell this is not the same Contender tier I used to cast for back when. Tyson Putting it back out center, split on the 50-50. Mom Jeans might be able to get a shot, but the man dives back in to make contact. 3 minutes left to be played, Taco, and there's there's only one shot on the board.
Yeah, it's been them giving it back to each other as Izumi has to dive and make the save. Does really well to get a piece of it. Jader's going to clear long. Izumi's downfield waiting for the pass to get to him. Again, we're talking about this is the tier where we start to see a little bit of team plays, and there's a good example. Mystic Max completely dunks one. Tyson tries to get the touch alongside, and no one is there from Sirens to clean it home. So Jader's going to take it up the wall, try and look for a pinch down, but unfortunately, Momjean's not able to get on the end of it. It was a really good play from Jader there. Here comes a bump. Izumi has to beat one, doesn't have boost though, and so he's going to run out of ideas, run out of time. This one's bouncing awkwardly, but really well cleared away by Tyson, who's going to steal this corner boost, try and make a play first, but a really great challenge from Jader means that they're going to have a chance. However, the man was lurking and finally cleared away.
Tough 50 split, too high for Jader of the follow. A bit of a dive by Tyson, but that opens up the man to get a touch here. Instead, Izumi is going to shove it all the way down the pitch. Tries to split the 50, can't quite beat Mystic Max for the ball. Mom Jeans tries to get a second pop, can't. It's going to be shoved all the way across. Mystic splits the 50. It's incredible that no goals have been scored with how fast the ball is immediately passing at least 2 players on both teams. Oh, there's an incredible bump by Mom Jeans, opening it up for Izumi. Great follow. I was trying to point out the fact that the ball is kind of bouncing back and forth rapidly at an alarming rate, and something had to give, and it finally did there.
Yeah, something definitely had to give. It wasn't just gonna be fought in the midfield all game, just back and forth. Someone was gonna get a dangerous scoring chance. There, Mom Jeans gets a great 50 and gets a bump on the last defender, and is able to free up a really free shot for Izumi to just tap home. Pretty much everyone can put that one away. Tyson has to be careful. Gets a great touch on not a lot of boost to do anything with. Mom Jeans doesn't have a lot of boost, but is able to get a touch and place it to the corner. The man up the wall trying to get a pass. Gets a touch, but it's not strong enough to make Jesters panic. Jesters are panicking now, though. Mystic Max has a free net to shoot at after the ball is given away. A bit of panic-induced after the ball floats in front of the net, forces 2 to go, and Mystic Max fires home the free net.
41 seconds, still a lot of Rocket League left to be played, though I will say with the rate at which goals are being scored, we might only get one more for the rest of this matchup here, which could be really damaging for the series. Mystic Max, what a rip. Mom Jeans has to quickly elevate and shove that back to the corner. Mom Jeans has control, splits the 50, steals the 100. Jader is able to get that center. A bump on Mom Jeans leaves his ball for Mystic Max. Mystic Max looking for the 50 out of the corner. Jader is able to beat one. That pop high in center. Mom Jeans isn't able to get to. Izumi's going to have to jump up and dive. Yes, they do. Makes contact. 10 seconds left to be played, Taco. And it's a dangerous spot here for the Sirens. Never mind.
Yeah, oh, big demo from Jader. Prevents a shot as it nearly went the other way around. Sirens almost scored at the last second. This one could be a kickoff goal. No, Izumi can't get back to it. So the man is going to be able to get there after the ball is stalled on the post. Mom Jeans, who's been looking dangerous, got the first bump on that led to the first goal. And this one could be going in. The man is awkward past over his head, but luckily no one on Jesters realized he was in a tough position. Mom Jeans gets a 50. Tyson has to read this. No, he won't. He'll defer and try to rely on the defenders. Mom Jeans pass to Izumi, saved away by Tyson. This is getting relentless for Jesters, who are finding their offense, but they can't find the back of the net yet.
Well, if you're a fan of RSC and you're a fan of exciting Rocket League, we've given nothing but it. This is our 3rd overtime on the night. Mystic Max looking to initiate the counterattack, splits the 50, can't get it past. Mom Jeans is going to outlet. That's going to bounce and roll up. tysonmaint doesn't want to let it develop. That's going to be on target. What a demo! Izumi takes goal number 2 and goal to end the overtime. Holy cow, what a demo!
Yeah, Mom Jeans had the bump on the first goal that led to an Izumi goal, and now gets a demo on the last defender that leads to the Izumi game winner. So Mom Jeans having an impact on both goals, Izumi slotting home both of those to give Jesters a great game 1 win.
Concerning. 8 shots from Jesters, applying a tremendous amount of pressure, but storylines developing here. That one game from Jesters now equalizes Jesters and Sirens on the season with 21 wins. And Jesters move one step away from the drop off point for the playoffs. So, especially with how well Azumi's been playing, putting shots on target, if Mom Jeans and Derv can keep opening up opportunities for Azumi, that might just be the plan to really establish good playoff hopes.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesters are going to be really confident going into game 2 and really comfortable with where their standing is now after that game. I mean, if you're on that playoff boundary line, it's really important in series that you do not let them get away from you. If you get swept in a series late in the season, though it's not like final week late yet, it's almost there. We're like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks left in the season. I believe probably like 2 weeks for contender. Um, but if you get swept at this point, not even just the games, like losses, it can demoralize your team. And you definitely want your team to be confident heading into those final matchups and composed for these tough matchups that you have to win. Mystic Max off the kickoff gets a tough shot, and Izumi, an incredible save that keeps away the danger.
One thing I really like that you kept saying was the number 2, and I really love it because if you're looking to get onto RSC Stream, I'm going to shamelessly plug the media committee here. We are still looking for signups for next Monday. There's going to be 2 special guest casters as we get our first goal from Jderv. So if you're looking to be on stream, you want to be casted, you want to have some special guest casters. You know, we've had some incredible ones coming through that have some lot of talent. Make sure you get your sign up, talk to your captains, talk to your opponent's captains. Please make sure everybody's all lined up. Don't just drop that in there, but focus a little bit more back on the action here. Tyson with a deep volley. That's a dangerous spot that Jderv has to put back into the corner. Mom Jeans able to make the touch here. The man's going to drop it back to Tyson. No, the man's going to follow through. Tyson be darned. Play your own rotation, I suppose. Mystic Max splits that 50. The man has the follow, putting it back into the corner. And 4 minutes left to be played here. Jesters, there's got to be a lot less stress on their shoulders right now.
Yeah, Jesters are looking very good, and they've had some great saves. And I want to highlight about their saves. They're not just great individually. It's the fact that they're putting them in a not dangerous place to be followed up upon, because you can find it, and as I say, not dangerous place, that ball is very dangerous. In the middle of the field, Jderv misses the ball. Though the man gets bumped off, it doesn't matter because there's no one back in time for the follow-up, as Mystic Max will tie this game up.
The man, Izumi, splitting the 50 here. Jderv's got the follow. Takes the touch. It's a light one. Might be able to get back to it. Can't. It's going to be shoved across the pitch by the Sirens. Mystic pops up one. Izumi looking for the outlet to Mom Jeans. Mom Jeans already up looking for the touch into the corner. A little bit of a miss, but the 50 split keeps the play alive. The man, Tyson, stacked on top. Tyson pushes through, gets it through one. Collects the 100. They might be able to turn and keep this play into the Jester's corner. Can't, though. Jderv collects. Looking for touch off the wall. Misses. Tyson with a shot on. That's going to be wide. Ooh, they are really starting to apply a lot of pressure here from the Sirens. Last game, it was 8-4 in favor of Jesters. It's already 4-1 in favor of Sirens. No way.
Oh no.
Izumi with the Hail Mary. Oh my goodness.
Izumi catches Tyson out way too far. Did not expect that type of power coming in, and Third man was just driving up, seeing what was going to happen, and unfortunately the ball started going over his head into the net directly. And unfortunate, after we were saying, Sirens definitely look more comfortable on the offensive end this game compared to game one. They were letting up a bunch of shots from Jesters in the first game, and now they've only given up 2. Unfortunately, that 2 has also been the number of goals they've given up. So they gotta fix their defense and not being too overcommitted on that end.
I really hope Hawk has a drum like a dun-duns here going on. Mystic Max gets it pushed across. What a pinch! That is rocketing back center. Mom Jeans opts to dive back in, splits the 50, that pops it up high. J-Derv looked like they were going to get their hand up there. Chose not to follow. Mom Jeans with a bit of a chipper. Might be able to dunk that through. Izumi off the crossbar. Goal number 2 here. Goal number 4 on aggregate through the series as Izumi is just lighting up the Sirens net.
Yeah, Izumi is everywhere. When that ball is popped up in the middle of the field, I was wondering, is anyone going to be there? Is anyone going to be there? Well, Izumi comes in out of nowhere, finds the placement, able to pinch the ball under the crossbar, and he is having himself a heck of a series to start off, and really is probably the reason Jesters have this lead. As I feel like a lot of the game flow would tell you that Sirens would be winning this. They look like they're better on offense right now, but Izumi has been tremendous and able to give them a 2-goal lead.
You're absolutely right. Izumi has been nothing but incredible. I thought we were going to get a pinch goal. Izumi with the follow. It's going to pop to the sidewall here. J-Derv playing a little bit slower. Splits the 50 that goes back center. Mom Jeans dives in. J-Derv stays with the play. Ooh, missed touch here. Bet they're going to be wanting that one back here. Izumi gets the read. Uses their boost to do so. Dangerous spot here. Can Mom Jeans get back to it? They do. They put it back into their own corner, and it's going to stay 3-1 with 55 left to be played.
Yeah, that was huge from Mom Jeans. Able to control it after a loose touch and get back to it. Izumi's going to clear long. There's a demo coming in as well. That Tyson's going to spawn back there. Not able to get enough of it. Another demo comes in. This time it's Izumi that is demoed off the pitch. 30 seconds left. Here needs to be a goal if they want to get back and have a chance to get an equalizer before overtime, before the end of this game. It's not looking likely at this moment. 20 seconds left. Mystic Max gets a favorable 50. Gonna try and follow up it. No, he leaves it for the man instead. But Tyson has to create. Looks to create off the wall. Gets a touch. Mystic Max follows it up. This one's gonna bounce out middle. Mom Jeans is required, but no one is able to get a touch on frame, and this one will hit the ground. Jesters take the 2-0 lead.
Well, that's such a difficult spot too. One thing you pointed out, you see 4 shots from the Sirens. I believe we saw 4 shots through the first maybe minute and a half, 2 minutes, and they were effectively shut out. TysonMaint looks like they're subbing out. We're gonna get Net Oven in. Wasn't Net Oven their third? Like heavy third, played a lot of saves. Am I losing my mind here?
Yeah, Net Oven was playing a lot of games. Had I think like 20 something games, 25 games ish. So before this, so I think he was their third. But now starting off the series was not playing, interestingly. Tyson, who I think had only like 5 games or something, or a very little amount, is coming in, or was in, is now being subbed out, interestingly. So Sirens clearly looking to make a change in play style. Whatever is happening is not working. They have taken 2 tough losses. Izumi is on a heater, and they need to find a way to stop it.
Well, and I wonder how this next matchup's going to look with getting a player that's had more games on the pitch with the team, maybe a little bit more chemistry. They had, I believe, their team's high for saves at 48. So that might open up the defense a little bit for them, and that might hopefully allow them to play a bit more aggressive with the other two. We'll see here, though. Bit of a missed touch here. Already getting goal number one by Mom Jeans. I shouldn't have spoken.
Yeah,
It
that's a brutal team bump too. Oh no, that is not what you want to see to start off.
very tough way to start. But Taco, 454 is a lot left to be played.
It is a lot left to be played. You just gotta say, oh, that's a kickoff goal, whatever. We can forget about it. Just you don't need to do anything different. Just play like how you were gonna play. You know, it's not early or it's not late enough to be thinking about, oh, we're a goal down. We need to come back. It's just all right, reset. Who cares? We're a goal down. If we need to score late, we will do it. But this one could be pinching in midfield. Izumi has been dangerous early on this time, applying the pressure. Mom Jeans up in the air, gets a touch. That's going to bounce out middle, but no one is there. The man, it's again another team bump-ish play as they're getting into each other's way, and that is not what you want to see. They need to fix that early in if they want to come back in this game, if they want to figure it out. This one is going to come over the middle of the field. Izumi's last to back. This one, if it's on target, is probably in, but it's not. Netovin, this one's going to bounce. What a save from Jader. Pinches it against his own crossbar to clear it.
Izumi tries to get some spacing here. The man can't quite make touch, so Netovin's going to put this high off backboard. The shot's already up. No, it's going to be wide. That would have been probably one of the best opportunities they had for offense right there. Izumi, 12 beans in a dream, able to make contact here. Unfortunately, Mom Jeans is also struggling. Everyone on the Jesters effectively starved. Really quick pace of play by Sirens is allowing them to just take relentless shots on, and one of these is going to have to be on target if Jader doesn't take yet another save. Mom Jeans with a diving save. A bend, don't break defensive opportunity from the Jesters keeps their plays alive. That 1-goal lead really sticking through as Mom Jeans tries to dive back to take the shot. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what I'm seeing from Mom Jeans in net. It's like 5 people back there. I feel like he's covering every angle, every single option. Just terrific and tremendous saves as they were really starved. That ball was peppering their backboard, and they had no boost for felt like 20 seconds. So incredible defense, which you don't really see down here too often. But Mom Jeans definitely stepping up to preserve this 1-goal lead. Mystic Max, though, has time, creates a great separation, beats 2, but not able to beat the 3rd. Netovin's going to clear it long. The man is going to try and provide an outlet. But Mom Jeans gets help from Jader. It's a pull shot. Is it going to go into their net? No, it's not. The man clears it away. No one challenged. Jader was too far back with not a lot of boost. The man pops it. Netovin trying to find the goal. Mystic Max coming in to the man. No, Jader clears long. Netovin has no boost. Jader is going to punish them. The counter attack is incredible as Jesters are able to hold on defense and then quickly counter on the other end.
Well, and the worst part is, if you're the Sirens, you've taken 7 shots so far. They've taken 7 as a team. They've been absolutely peppering the goal, and it's got to be a bit of a mental block when you see a player like Mom Jeans absolutely swatting everything you throw at them away. Not to mention Jader's had some incredible saves as well, but that is something they're going to have to overcome, is that defensive rotation that this Jesters team is really locked into, and just find a way to open up the goal. I mean, maybe a bump, maybe a demo. It's just something to muscle that player out of the way. As I say that here, Mystic Man elevates, looking for a shot on. Oh, gets their first goal. Izumi made contact, but did not have enough oomph behind that touch to put it back into the post.
Mystic Max has been providing the offense in this game. He is able to keep them going, and it feels like that is well deserved. They probably should have had a goal before that one, but they will certainly take it. They definitely have enough time to come back. Mom Jeans has crept a little too far up, so he's going to have to cycle back to the corner. This one's going to fly out. Jader's awkward. The man. Then comes Mystic Max. That one is just wide of the post. So he'll leave it for his teammate, but Izumi says none of that. And no nonsense, clears it away. Mom Jeans trying to keep this one recycled. It's going to bounce. This has to be a really tough read. Netoven is up to the task and clears it away, but it's not about the defense. They have to convert this into offensive opportunities as they are currently trailing by a goal, but Net Oven is now making great contact and getting them out of defense, but for how long they need to be able to sustain this offensive pressure.
Gator putting it off the backboard here. Dangerous spot. A little bit of a double commit. Izumi able to make contact, but it's swatted away by the man. Jader turns, pops it back center, looking for the bump on the man. That's an awkward touch off the post. Mom Jeans tries to shove it through, but can't quite find the gap. So instead, Mystic Man has possession, splits the 50. Net Oven in an awkward spot here. Mom Jeans already elevated. Net Oven able to make contact and put it back into the sidewall here. 8 seconds left to be played. The man backflips. Mystic Man pushing it all the way across. The man putting it back on target. No, Mom Jeans with their 4th save of the game locks game 3 into the books.
Yeah, Mom Jeans, an absolute defensive clinic in that game, made the crucial saves when needed as Sirens stepped up their offense in this game. 10 shots and only conceding a single goal to them is crazy. So, I mean, Sirens have to feel hard done by that result. But again, you're down 3 games now. And you can't even get a tie in the series anymore. You're just looking for the consolation game. It is going to be really tough after that game specifically to get your mental recovered and be like, okay, we were the better team that game, arguably. We should have won it. You got to get reset and are able to lock back in.
Well, and you're not wrong. It's going to not only be difficult, but it's the understanding that if they don't take a win here, they will be 1 game up from Helldivers and Gallery Guild, who will have 4 chances each for match day 12 to possibly supplant them with their playoff spot. If you're Jesters, though, you're now sitting pretty comfy at 23-20. I mean, even with the loss here, 23-21 puts them in a relatively good spot, very secured spot. Even a loss here against the Sirens would still have them bouncing above the Sirens on the playoff table.
This is a huge series, and Jesters are really stepping up when required. They have proved to be able to clutch up, able to find the necessary goals in this game, and Izumi really looking to make plays happen. He's been their offensive talisman. Net Oven trying for the redirect, not able to get it to go. Cars getting bumped everywhere. No one knows exactly where they're going. Here's a long play. They can't find the contact on the redirect. Izumi has to make a touch, does make the touch. Mystic Max is too far forward. It goes around him. Jader clears it long. It's a huge clear from Jader. Could be a pass in midfield too. Jader up to Izumi. Izumi pops it up again and bumps are coming out. They are harassing him. They're getting boost. And Jesters are continuing the offensive momentum. Mystic Max to the corner, plays it. Mom Jeans leaves it for Izumi. Izumi gets the touch, but it's not going to be enough to beat the defenders. Mystic Max is able to take the touch, take his time, gets a great clear. But again, who's next to it? Jader gets the demo. This one's going to go in. A huge demo from Jader. And Mom Jeans able to trust that Jader gets the demo just before the contact is made and get it over the last defender.
That's so difficult if you're the goalkeeper and you think through the smoke, hey, maybe my teammate made the swat, maybe they made the play on the ball, they were able to prevent the shot. But no, you just see it come screeching out of the smoke screen right on target. I don't know if there's any time to react to something that perfect. Jader off the sidewall, looking for a pass already. That's going to bounce high. Izumi might be able to put it on target. No, that's going to be wide. And now Net Oven has control, trying to put it across here. Taco, I'm telling you right now, if I'm on defense, I'm not saving it coming out of that smoke screen.
Yeah, that was it. Like, there's not a lot of, I don't even think like Prem players would save that a lot of times. That's really tough. That ball is just rocketed, and I thought they were going to be able to get a touch too. I'm sure the third man probably thought Net Oven was going to get a touch on the ball, but Jader came out of nowhere in literally probably a millisecond or less than half a second before the contact would have been made. A demo comes through, and able to give a clean touch to the Jesters that they are able to put away. So a tough position for Sirens to be put into, now down a goal again, and they have to reset themselves after a really tough smokescreen situation. A big demo and a goal from Izumi to punish the loose touch from the man. Huge plays, J-Derv, it's the demo game. The man can't get back to the goal.
I think as we start to talk about the series as a whole, in the fact that it's going to at least go 3-1 in favor of the Jesters here, we start to talk about MVP and who really has stepped up. And it's just been one name that's been consistent, one name that's been there every game consistently, on offense consistently, taking shots consistently. It's hard for me not to pick Izumi at this point with 2:11 left to be played.
Yeah. Oh, there's the demo back, though. They're getting physical back. Net Oven is able to get a demo. Or, sorry, Net Oven is going to get the shot after the man completely leaves the play and takes out the goalkeeper. So there is a bit of life for Sirens yet. They're not dead yet. They have time. They have a bit of momentum coming their way. Now they just need to be able to convert. Net Oven is beat to the ball, but does get enough of a touch to not allow any dangerous opportunities to come with it. The man misses the touch. Another demo. Huge demos coming in. Izumi has a shot, but it's wide of the post. Sirens are continuing. They have to find the response. And Mom Jeans passes, huge pass. J-Derv for the dagger, can't find the shot. Izumi, wide. It's a relentless offense. It's shot after shot. And finally, Mom Jeans says, fine, I'll just play cleanup crew, and gets the free shot.
Oh my goodness. Mom Jeans putting XL in the extra large offensive play we were just handed there. Mom Jeans, the man, splitting the kickoff here. Mom Jeans stuffing it through. J-Derv already challenging, already pushing up the pitch. Mom Jeans splits the 50, bounces out of the corner. Izumi can't make contact. Oh, it's going to be high. That's going to keep this 3-1 in what could have easily meant a little bit wider of a door to possibly step through back into this game.
Yeah, here could be a chance, though. Third man pushed a little too far up. Mom Jeans might be bumped off the ball. No, he's able to get around the bump and beat them to the ball. Net Oven's a little awkward. Gets a touch, though. Mystic Max is going to come in. Mom Jeans has to rotate. He's rotating front post, though. This could force a bit of an awkward play, but Mom Jeans is everywhere on the challenge, forcing about 450s and able to do enough. They just have to keep this in the corner. Izumi clears it away. Izumi's going to take time, but he misses the touch out. However, Mom Jeans, another clear. Mom Jeans has been the defensive stalwart for them. And now coming in to clean up for the dagger. 4-1. Jesters look like they're going to take this series with a sweep.
I might have to start walking back my previous conversation about MVP for Izumi. Mom Jean's starting to pop off here a little bit. Izumi.
Yeah.
Net Oven split the 50. Mystic Max is doing trying to let that bounce, but J-Derv doesn't want to let that develop at all. J-Derv takes a long touch. It's not going to touch ceiling, so Net Oven has to make contact here. Bit of a push. Mystic Man. 18 seconds left to be played, though, Taco. Who are you picking?
Oh, man. It's actually really difficult. I think I would agree. It's between Izumi. Hold on. It's not over. 9 seconds is not impossible. But it would have to be a big throw. It would have to be a big throw, and Sirens have not shown that they're capable of it yet. But I say yet because they could still prove it. 9 seconds left. It's going to have to be a kickoff goal. They're going to fake it, and there's no one back to fake it too. So this one's just going to go around, and there's not enough time. Jesters are going to hold on. Even if this one goes in, it won't matter. Jesters, a huge statement sweep to give themselves a bit of distance in their playoff qualification hopes. And they certainly all showed up, and I agree. Mom Jeans really showed up in those last two games especially. It's a really tough, close bout between MVP, between the two, I think.
I think it's close, but I think I'm still gonna have to back up and say, yep, it's still Izumi. I mean, yes, did Mom Jeans absolutely lock up game three with a tremendous amount of defense? Absolutely. Game four, did they drop 3 goals? Absolutely. But Izumi has been consistent all game, all series, with just nonstop offensive pressure. So it's difficult for me not to pick Izumi here. Uh, One of the interesting things as well, we're getting pushed through by production is that Izumi was apparently an in-season pickup via trade too. Uh, Crazy that level of player can be actually acquired, but no, I mean, I think for me, I gotta lock in on Izumi here.
Yeah, Zumi was huge, and I agree the consistency probably was the thing that edges them. They were there and performing in probably every single game of the series, whereas Mom Jeans started to show up on the defensive end, especially, and show up huge in those last two games. But Izumi, overall, if we're taking a look at the whole series, was probably their best player and consistently able to get it done. But a huge result, regardless, for the Jesters in a close playoff race. They were a game behind the Sirens heading in. Now they are what? They're 3 games ahead. So a huge switch between those two teams. And now Sirens are on the outside looking in, I believe, of the playoff race. So that is a tough position to be in. They looked comfortable heading in terms of their standing and their stats. But now they are going to be asked a lot to rebound from this result and get it done in the last couple weeks.
For sure, for sure. And we are going to go ahead and bring in our interview, hopefully. Whenever there we go, Bearded Frodo from our Jesters team. Bearded, first
Hello,
off,
hello.
give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts on the game so far before we start firing questions at you.
Um, well, the team knew what they needed coming in tonight. The comms, the rotations, the touches, they were all just there. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a good win. We needed it bad, and the boys pulled it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, looking at the standings coming into tonight, you guys were equalized with Helldivers and Gallery Guild all sitting at 20-20. One of your three teams would have potentially been on the outside of the playoffs looking in. That 4-0 sweep tonight really has to take a lot of pressure off your shoulders. I would take it.
Oh, it does. It does. We've had a lot of talks, a lot of team meetings, a lot of gameplay reviews on things that we need to work on, and it's paying off. It's paying off a lot.
Absolutely. And, in this series, you guys were a game behind and heading in, but you had a lot of offense today. You had a lot of great goals, but especially in those last couple games, you guys stepped it up on defense. Were able to take the response from the other team and able to keep out their comeback attempts. How are you able to keep the early leads going and stop them from coming back in the series?
A lot of that has to do with the gameplay reviews, which we have a great coach, Nero. Uh, great GM. You know, we got Drizzy and Arc Five and all them. Great franchise. But a lot of it has to do with the rotations and the comms, which we've been working on since preseason. Uh, uh, Izumi was pretty new to the way we play with our comms and our rotations and everything, and he picked it up really quick. He's doing pretty solid. J Derv and Mom Jeans. Mom Jeans don't ever. He's always calming. And so is J Derv and Izumi since joining the team. Like there's never a moment of silence in our comms. It's just constant. And I feel like that's paying off. And as you can tell from the games tonight, we the demos on the sweeps on the rotations they pay off.
Yeah, I mean, you guys looked like a well-drilled machine on offense. That looked like the replays, reviews, and team sessions are definitely paying off. And how I was going to ask, how is it? You said Izumi was a mid-season pickup. How is it integrating a crucial player into your team in the middle of the season like that. You know, you don't have the preseason to
Um,
get to get them on board. So you have to get them going while games are being played. How is that?
it's honestly all right because we play a lot of six mans and a zoomies in our group typically when we run six mans and we run them like every night all weekend long. I mean we get 10 to 15 people in there running six mans, and we just run them and run them and run them, and so he kind of knows he already knew how everybody played. It was just the him picking up the comms and the rotations and the way we do kickoffs and things like that. And honestly, I mean, Izumi's just a solid player. I wouldn't say it was a big deal picking him up mid-season and him having to learn too much. It just kind of clicks. I mean, everything's good. Like I said, it all comes down to the rotations and the comms, and it's working right now. Uh, Pretty solid.
For sure, for sure. Well, I've only got one last question for you. Match day 13, March 9th. Y'all are playing Jellyfish, currently sitting atop the standings for Contender. Uh, it's going to be the best way to test your mettle. How are you guys feeling about that matchup? Are you guys looking forward to it, or are you just taking it one day at a time?
Well, right now, we talk about who we're playing coming up, things like that, but basically a day at a time. Like we'll do a gameplay review of all the matches tonight. We're not gonna sweat it. We know they're good, but we have the potential to be just as good if everything, as long as the comms are working, the rotations. We take it serious. Like we knew what we needed tonight. We come in ready to play. Uh, I mean, that's basically it's not much of a mindset deal. It's just we got to come ready to play, and I think the boys can do it. Like Jellyfish, they're a solid team. You can't take nothing away from them. The team we played tonight, they're a solid team. They all played well. Mystic was solid on offense and defense. I mean, so were the other teammates. We just beat them. But for the most part, come next match day, we're really gonna have to step up and keep the wins up. But I think we can do it.
Sweet. Well, Taco, do you have any other questions for our interviewee here?
No. You wanna shout out anyone before we let you go?
Yeah, yeah. I want to thank you guys for hosting these and doing a great job on the broadcast and keeping these things going. And the team as a whole, solid. The franchise as a whole, like I said, our coach Nero, Arc Five, Drizzy, uh, which they played on stream tonight, had a good outcome for them. Uh, no, we just appreciate everything that y'all do, and that's about it.
Well, for sure, for sure. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for giving us a good interview and great answers for sure. We look forward to seeing how you guys play the rest of your season.
Uh, we appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Well, that'll settle up our Tendy matchup, the second matchup here. Taco, anything for you before we kind of send everybody off?
I was just gonna say for everyone listening, if you have a team and you want to sign up for streams, make sure to do so. We have quite a few slots open over this next week, I believe. So there are spots available to get on stream. So make sure to reach out to the other captain, get your teams on board to play on stream. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good experience, especially heading into playoffs and finals where you're required to play on stream. If you make finals, this could be a great warm up to get over the nerves of doing so. So definitely get your team signed up to play on stream, and that's it for me.
Hey, no, I'm glad you pointed out here. Getting on stream, like you said, great way to get over those stream jitters. If you think you're going to make a deep playoff run to be in the finals, be on stream. I don't know if we've harped on it enough, but remember, next Monday, 2 guest casters, 2 people who aren't normally on our lineup are going to be getting on the desk talking about the game that we all know and love. So if you want to be on stream, please make sure you are getting your spots open. You're getting, registered for the matchup. Talk to the other captain. Don't just register by yourself. But with that being said, it's been Bas Radala, it's been Taco, it's been SavedHawk on the production. There's been a lot of great Rocket League. Y'all have a good night. I feel like I started talking about faster.
I didn't know.
Oh.